Live from Lagos, Nigeria, the channel's television global headquarters, this is Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we'll be focusing on the southeastern region of the country. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the top stories making the rounds at the moment. The Supreme Court has dismissed the suit instituted by 16 states of the Federation against the Attorney General of the Federation, challenging the constitutionality of the acts establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, NFRU, and ICPC. The Apex Court dismissed it for lacking in merit. Delivering the lead judgment, Justice Uwani Abba Aji held that the states were completely wrong in holding that EFCC established by an act of the National Assembly was an illegal and unlawful body. Justice Abba Aji, who led a 7-member panel of justices, ruled that the EFCC Act, which is not a treaty but a convention, does not need the ratification of the Houses of Assembly. The court had earlier dismissed all objections of the federal government to the suit filed by the states. Justice Abba Aji said the plaintiff's case was against the Attorney General of the Federation and not any of the agencies mentioned. Hence, the Supreme Court has jurisdiction to determine it. As Ondo State prepares for its off-cycle governorship election, President Bola Tinubu has urged all political stakeholders and electorates to uphold peace and decorum and fulfill their civic responsibilities without fear before or after the elections. According to a statement from the presidency, President Tinubu anticipates a democratic process in the state that will genuinely reflect the people's will and power to choose their leaders freely. The president commends the Independent National Electoral Commission for its diligent preparations for the election, particularly its timely distribution of sensitive materials across all 18 local government areas in the state. Acknowledging the deployment of security men to maintain law and order, the president appreciated the assurances from the Inspector General of Police, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the personnel who would act professionally and adhere to the provisions of the Electoral Act to ensure a credible electoral process. Ahead of the Ondo State governorship election, the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is ready for a seamless process. The Commission's Assistant Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Dr. Temitope Akamu, will, while speaking on our breakfast show, Sunrise Daily today, confirm the deployment of election materials from the INEC office to the local governments for transportation to the polling units.
All materials, sensitive and non-sensitive election materials, and men and material, they have moved. They've been moved to local government. They left yesterday. As we are talking right now, they are on their way from local government to various registration area centers where they are going to be camped overnight so that there will be a smooth transmission from that rack into various polling units. And the essence of this is to ensure that polling units are opened early. And we have resolved in Ondo State, INEC Ondo State, based on lessons we've learned, the application of lesson learned in our previous elections, that our polling units are going to be opened early enough before the polling commences. As I'm talking to you, it's a resolve that we have come to, and we are striving and we are making sure that we make sure we achieve this, that voters will not have got to wait for us. We will be the one to wait for them at the various polling units. We are going to be there early enough for voters to cast their vote, and they are going to cast their vote seamlessly. The beavers are being made available. Over 4,000 beavers are going to be used within our 3,933 polling units in this state. And not that alone, 812 beavers have been set aside as backup in case of any eventuality or any failure or any challenge that may want to arise from the usage of beaver. However, we are not limiting it to that. We have over 200 trained, and they have already been deployed, registration area technical officers who are going to be attending to issues as they emanate on beavers at various registration areas. And when you look at this, you see that we are ready for this election, and people of Ondo State should come out and cast their vote without fear, without intimidation. The process is theirs, and they should come out and vote.
To start off in Abia State, where the state governor, Dr. Alex Otti, has stated that his administration has so far spent 90 billion naira to service the debt of 191.2 billion naira inherited from the immediate past administration. Addressing newsmen in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, Dr. Alex Otti explained that the debt payment, which represents 47.1% of the total debt profile, shows how prudent and effective his government is. While expressing his concern over the huge amount already spent on debt servicing, the Abia State governor further said the Otti-led administration has not borrowed a dime from any source and will continue to manage the finances of the state with prudence.
What was handed over to this administration was a total debt stock of 191.2 billion. Between 29th of May to the last quarter, this government has paid almost 90 billion out of the 191 billion. So we are owing actually less than 100 billion now. Because there are debts that are falling due and we must pay. This government has not borrowed one kobo. And I say without any fear of contradiction, one kobo from anybody. So that's the way to measure how effective government is. And government has been doing all the things it's been doing, building roads, cleaning up everywhere, getting our healthcare delivery system to work, paying pensioners, paying workers. So how are we doing it? Some people are asking how we are doing it. But some jobless, well, they say they are Adrians, or they will confirm they are Adrians, but they don't live here. Somebody said they should come back, come here and come and see it. They should go to Aba and go and tell them.
Over to Anambra State, where Governor Chukwuma Soludo is wooing investors to the state as he seeks development of the various sectors. Professor Soludo, who is serving his first tenure as governor, believes that the state is a great destination hub and is bordered by states in the north and south. Speaking at the 2024 Investment Summit, the governor says the government is prepared to partner with interested investors towards achieving sustainable economic growth that will ensure the state is never in a position of a departure lounge.
Here is the place to be. I heard the Honorable Minister make the point about the strategic location of Anambra State. Anambra is a hub that has boundary with the north through Kogi, boundary with the southwest, south-south via Delta and rivers. We have boundary with Delta and rivers on the south-south. And we have boundary with Enugu, Abia, and Imo. It's a hub. And that's why it ended up having the largest market in West Africa. And we are rising again. A Newman market has been designed. We're going to have not just the largest market in West Africa, but the largest in Africa. And those of you who are interested in investing, let's come and do it together. We have these things designed. They're not ideas floating. And costed, actually. I know the gas and the stuff that we will be discussing in the next panel discussions. I know that Dr. Ibeto has a gas plant already on CNG and so on, but we'll now be talking about our gas to power initiative, as it were. Many of the solid mineral sector, we are building the kaolin plant to proof of concept. But then we have several other which will be commissioned in the next few months. Then other solid minerals, come and partner with us. We are having them sorted out now to work with the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals. We'll get the concessions ready for business. Come in and we'll de-risk them and ready for you to make money. Because our own interest, we must ensure that you make money.
Let's get more on this. Joining us on the program is the Managing Director of the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, Mr. Mark Okoye. He joins us via Zoom. You're welcome to Newsroom Series. Mr. Mark Okoye, can you hear me? Kindly unmute your screen, please. While we're waiting to get him back, let's have a look at other stories coming in from Meanwhile, the Soludo Ambassadors Joint Transporters Forum, JTF, have affirmed that Soludo's projects are legacy projects that will stand the test of time. This submission comes up after the ambassadors' tour of several ongoing project sites in Awka, Ekulobia, and Okpoko. According to the president of the forum, Comrade Elvis Okolie, the projects will not only meet the needs of transporters, but will impact greatly on other economic businesses in the state.
The Solution Ambassadors Joint Transporters Forum have embarked on a tour of project sites where massive constructions undertaken by the state government are ongoing. The first port of call is the new government house, lodge, and other facilities in Awka, the Anambra state capital. They are impressed at the level of construction as well as the aesthetics of the structure. From there, they move to the new flyover construction site at Aruma Awka. The ambassadors confirm that the state fund is working and it's important that people know about it.
Many people in the state do not actually know what has been going on in terms of constructions and the rest of them. So the works are going on, but there is no department that is taking care of the M&E, the monitoring and the evaluation. So Joint Transporters Forum, in collaboration with Soludo ambassadors, have taken it upon themselves to go around and see what is actually happening.
The inspection team visits the Ultra-Modern Trauma Center at the Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amaku Awka, and marvels at the gigantic structure. Next is the Solution Fund City, where Governor Soludo is building a world-class leisure center where people can relax and enjoy themselves. From Awka project sites, the team moves to Ekulobia flyover construction site, where the ambassadors note their satisfaction over the work, considering the traffic congestion that usually hits the area during festive periods.
I must tell you the truth. I am surprised that Soludo is a magician, and is doing well with Anambra's tax money. As you can see, the flyover is wonderful. Every other place we have touched, they are all wonderful. If you're traveling to Imo State, the moment you get to this particular point, you will spend 2 hours here just for you to cross over this place. But Mr. Governor has deemed it fit to ease off this place and then enable ease of doing business as well to take place here, because this particular point is very, very important in the transport system of Anambra State.
We are here in Okpoko General Hospital, and I saw a wonderful structure and a wonderful equipment in this hospital. So our governor is absolutely doing very well.
Rounding off the inspection tour, the Solution Ambassadors Joint Transporters Forum confirms that Governor Soludo is doing a great job in Anambra State and is appealing to everyone in the state to support the governor for more good works.
You're watching Newsroom series live on Channels Television. Still ahead, we'll be speaking to a representative from the Anambra State government on most of the developments and economic summit. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, let's get more on most of the Anambra developments. Joining us on the program is the Managing Director of Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency. He joins us via Zoom. Welcome, Mr. Mark Okoye.
Yeah, thank you. How are you doing, my brother?
Very well, thank you. Now, could you give us more insights into the investment agenda of the Soludo administration?
No, definitely I can. We're just coming off the investment summit, the second edition. Just to give you a bit of a reminder of what he set out to achieve. He said he wants to make Anambra State the smart megacity, prosperous homeland, and the preferred location to live, work, learn, relax, and enjoy. And in doing that, he wants to attract private sector funding to build infrastructure, major infrastructure projects as captured in his manifesto. And the engine or the platform to achieve this essentially is the Investment Promotion Agency, which in his manifesto he did speak to how he was going to restructure it, such that rather than doing some land for equity projects we had done in the past, under him he says he wants to take projects all the way from conceptualization to bankability. So solving all the problems, de-risking the projects by buying the land, building the infrastructure, ensuring the projects are investment ready. We had a summit last year. We signed a number of deals. At this summit yesterday, we gave a report on those projects, and then went on it, and we look forward to implementing assiduously over the next year.
Okay, now with all of this in place, what are the state's expectations from would-be investors? Now you've explained that the state is bringing the land, building on the land. Now, what are these investors' expectations from these would-be investors if the state's government is doing all of this?
So I'll tell you, we have, in my view, I'd like to break it into probably three buckets, right? You have your domestic investors, which I believe are extremely critical because FDI doesn't go to places that domestic investment doesn't go. Domestic typically is the one that goes. They understand the risk, they understand the environment. And then on the back of that, you have FDI. Then obviously you have your debt financiers, which can come in via DFIs, international ones, or also domestic currency DFIs. There's a lot of liquidity out there set aside for Africa from the organizations like AfrExim, African Development Bank, US development organizations. But the biggest problem has always been getting bankable projects. Many a times, what states are presenting in front of these organizations are nice concepts. But to get a concept all the way to the point where it gets bankable and investment ready, it's a long process, right? You have to not only, you have your concept, you buy the land, you do your pre-feasibility, you do your feasibility studies, you have your clear master plan, you go in and invest in the environmental social impact assessment, such that when the project is ready, investors are essentially, they understand the returns, they understand the level of expectation, the resources that they need to commit, they have a rough idea on the return on investment cycle, and that way it makes it easy. Anambra has a very wealthy diaspora, but for many years, that wealthy diaspora hasn't been given the right framework, master plan for that investment to come in. So that's essentially what we're doing. I'll give an example with the Industry Park project that we discussed at the summit. Last year, we set out to develop the master plan. We signed an agreement with a company called Atelier for them to design and develop the master plan and feasibility study for this. Right? What have we done in the last 6 months? We've charted it out. We've set up the special purpose vehicle. We've acquired 4,100 hectares of land. We've done extensive federal government MDAs and state level MDAs. We've ensured that all the national development plans have aligned to this plan. We've also gone ahead to do all the feasibilities and put that project in front of the PFIs, such that where it is today, it's ready for investors to basically take a district and go ahead and start developing, working closely with the state. Okay.
Now, Governor Soludo compared Anambra to Lagos State with regards to land mass, but now the major issue is erosion and ecological challenges. Now, how is the state hoping to overcome this? Because that's a very big difference between Anambra and Lagos State, putting that comparison.
No, yeah. So about 30% of our land is threatened by erosion. And obviously, to achieve this, and we're approaching this in a very methodical way. So there's existing erosion sites that the government is committing to control. We are committing resources on about 10 different erosion projects. But even if we had the resources that we have at state level and that of any federal program, it won't be enough to address this problem. So we must do two things. One is, in our view, is preventive measures. We've embarked on an extensive campaign of going green and planting trees trees that have strong roots that can hold and fortify our soil. Then I believe to date over 2 million, 3 million seedlings have also been bought and shared, right? Then number two is also seeing how we can reclaim more land. One of the projects that we signed at the investment summit is the new Onitsha city. on the second Niger bridge, driving out to the to Asaba from Anambra, to that left, you see the lush green, swampy area. We've just acquired 5,000 hectares of that to build a new Onitsha. Because what we learned from the Lagos model is that you can actually expand your land. The president, while he was a governor, tackled tamed the Atlantic and expanded it and built a brand new city out of that. So taking lessons from that, we've looked at this new area that no one has been able to build, and the governor is determined, working with the private sector, to go into that area, reclaim the land, sandfill it, and start building infrastructure for a new modern city.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mark Okoye, the Managing Director of the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsroom Series. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Now we move over to Enugu, where the state government has commenced the dualization of Waterworks Hilltop Mwefe Ovodechi Road to reduce traffic congestion and improve traffic flow and economic development. Governor Francis Nwifuru, during the flag-off event at Amarichara, Agbaji in Easy local government area of the state, noted that the road links to the newly established University of Information and Technology in Oferekpe, Agbaja.
The Ebonyi state government is investing in rural road infrastructure as a crucial step towards improving the lives of the people in rural areas. The state governor, Mr. Francis Nwifuru, represented by the Commissioner for Works, Mr. Stanley Lebechi Mbam, is visiting Amachara, Agbaja in Easy local government area to flag off the dualization of Waterworks Hilltop Mwefe Ovodechi Road, which is expected to significantly improve economic growth, social development, and poverty reduction.
The importance of these roads cannot be emphasized enough. Because to me, since I have been passing this through road, I have witnessed up to 3 accidents. The accidents have always occurred in this road. And in line with the university, the ICT university that is springing forth, not only that, this road also leads to one of the biggest markets in Izi clan, which is the Jogo and Ovodechi. And this market, all people bring their goods, the agricultural products, and people from the all corner of the country, in the southeast precisely, comes here to do their market trading.
Stakeholders from the area promise to ensure the security of construction workers by providing a safe environment.
I want to assure you that all your property during the course of the work will be protected. Auto vandalized. Because I know where I am taking care of.
Our equipment that are here are safe and secured. And we want to warn anyone who is within or without who would want to sabotage by interfering with the properties of the company. We will call upon your shoulder the full wrath of the law. We will spare no one in protecting and enhancing the dignity of the workers and the work itself.
The Commissioner also inspected other ongoing road projects, noting that the rural roads will improve access to health, education, and other essential services.
Apologies, that was Ebonyi State. Now we move over to Enugu State, where the State Police Command have arrested 2 suspected killers of the chairman of the Ogbete Main Market Traders Association in Enugu, Mr. Stephen Anyogu. Parading the suspects at the Enugu State Command, the headquarters, the police PRO, DSP Daniel Ndukwe, said they were arrested through diligent intelligence work and coordinated efforts of the anti-robbery section and anti-kidnapping tactical squad of the command. He added that during interrogation, both suspects confessed to their active involvement in the crime. They provided detailed accounts of how they attacked Mr. Anyagu, snatched his vehicle, and similarly shot another male driver severely at the same location.
I want to inform us that the Commissioner of Police has reaffirmed the commitment of the Enugu State Police Command to apprehend all individuals connected to this crime. It is not something the command has slept over. The command will keep doing all what it can do to ensure that every single individual, everybody involved in this crime, is is arrested and brought to book. The Commissioner of Police also assures the public that the police will continue in its efforts to dismantle criminal gangs wherever they exist in Enugu State, particularly those involved in violent crime. The CP has also stressed that the command will maintain its aggressive stance against criminals to ensure the safety and security of the good people of Enugu State. The CP has called on the citizens of the state, everybody, please, we need your support. Provide us with credible information, provide us with credible intelligence, particularly even as we step into this very festive and Yuletide season. We need your support, and we believe very strongly that with you, we will continue to have this breakthrough. It doesn't matter how long it may take.
And that's it on this edition of Newsroom Series. I'm Dominic Ibiu.